never be able to endure suffering well when we are only living for ourselves. But the more that we realize as Christians, it is not I who live, but Christ lives in me, the more we'll find God's grace to be working powerfully in our lives when we face suffering. This is a growth curve. None of us have got this down. We're always going to be seeking, hopefully, to grow in this. More of Him, less of us. But we need to understand, we're not facing great suffering right now, so it can go over our heads. But when you experience suffering, the more you're living for Christ, the more you will endure the suffering. And let's not forget the context here is suffering for the name of Christ. In other words, suffering that we experience for being a Christian, which again is very minimal in our lives right now compared to our brothers and sisters in other parts of the world. But this is changing. We need to be prepared. We need to prepare our children. But the same principles apply to any suffering we may experience when that suffering is clearly part of God's sovereign plan for our lives and beyond our control. God uses this kind of suffering in the form of various trials and tribulations to help us become more like Christ.